So, all glory to our Holy Father, all glory to the King, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Make this video so he might use it to his will, however he might use it. All glory to our Father. So, it's gonna be a quick one, I think, but I had an instance, like 2 days ago, kind of yesterday. I want to talk about. Um, so like I was praying a little bit, and it was probably like 6 o'clock, and where I am, there's like stairs that like reach up above me, and so like while I was praying, I was asking that that Father would keep like people from like coming downstairs until I like had finished praying, and so basically what happened was like nobody came downstairs, but I kept hearing like footsteps, right? Um, like constantly like rustling, constantly like people going to the stairs, but not like going down them. But like they didn't like nobody came down the stairs, but it's like you keep hearing like the footsteps of like people above you, right? And of course the activity doesn't like actually pick up until you start praying, to try to get you off your kilter. And the next day, I was praying about something, and I didn't like. It was basically the same thing that happened. Basically, like when I started praying, that's when like all the rustling about started. And it's like, oh man, like it's like when you're not praying, it's like that's when nobody's moving around. But like it's like when you start praying, that's when like you start hearing the footsteps again, and that thought keeps trying to get into your mind that, oh no, somebody's gonna come downstairs. Somebody's gonna come downstairs. But the reason I'm saying all this is because there is a like in this instance, I just thought it was worthy to talk about because like in hearing the footsteps, like it's like something you can compare to faith, right? Like what if later down the line some trouble comes? I'm not talking about like I mean like let's say people are like persecuting, right? Like let's say it's a time of persecution. Then I think this is how we should look at it. Because you know, whether it is or it isn't, I think we should, try to look at the faith as, try to look at the walk with Jesus as like hearing the footsteps. Because both of those times, like I said, like I asked him that he would keep the people from coming downstairs. They never came downstairs, but I heard the footsteps, and I think there's some value that can be taken out of that. Because even though they didn't come downstairs, you still heard the footsteps. So it's still required of you to have faith. Otherwise, I don't think I would have heard. I don't think he would have had me hear them moving around. You know, it's just something to think about. You know, you hear the footsteps, but they don't walk near you. It's like, what if you're in a battle? I've never been in a battle before, and we know that God is in control. So if it's in if it's in His will for you to fall in the battle, maybe you fall in the battle. But wherever you are, it's just take that faith with you. That just that idea, that you know, or even as some in some place where it says put through the fire and not you, and you won't smell of the smoke. You know, just something to think about. You know, like I imagine myself. Well, I won't say I imagine myself. This is for a later time, but what if I'm being chased and I'm in a forest, right? And I ask the Lord for protection. If I still hear their footsteps, does that mean that He's not protecting me? Not at all. But it's required of faith, right? It's just an example. Just something to think about. You hear the footsteps, but they don't come near you. Just something to think about. I hope you can receive this.